back at it again with another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G, and today we're gonna talk about some Playboi Carti. So his music album, we are trying to figure out when that's gonna drop. We had singles, features. So this video we're gonna react to the real reason Carti hasn't dropped. So let's get right into this video.
6 months ago, it appeared as if Playboi Carti was finally starting the rollout for his highly anticipated third studio album, believed to be called Music. Back in December, Carti started dropping new songs pretty steadily on socials, and even promised fans that new music was coming in 2024. However, as Carti has done time and time again in his career, he would soon go completely silent, putting an end to all of the hype that he had created. And now we're at a point where it's almost June and we don't even know if he will be dropping in this famed year 2024 at all. Well, as I said, Carti's done this a few times in his career now. This late 2023, early 2024 run, it was just different. The eyes of the music world were truly all on him. To garner all that attention and then not even capitalize on it and just throw it all away, it just seemed so random. But finally, months after Carti abandoned the rollout, we have gotten some insight as to why he did not drop the album. Or shall I say albums. Insiders have come forward and provided that intel, as well as what is next for Carti in terms of his future music plans. The biggest news, of course, being that this entire time, Carti hasn't been planning to drop just one album, but two. So, without wasting any more time, let's look into what went wrong with Playboi Carti's failed winter rollout, and see what could have been, as well as what potentially still could be for 2024 music.
You guys comment down below what's your favorite single that he's done dropped so far. I'd say my favorite's probably Hood by Ear and Evil Jordan.
Now, the music rollout has been going on for a few years now, and depending on who you ask, like, yo, when did the music rollout really start, you're probably going to get a different answer depending on who you're asking, what kind of Carti fan you're talking to. You could check out my past Carti videos and get caught up on the entire saga, and even study up on past abandoned albums like Narcissist, but to me, in my eyes, the music rollout really began in December 2023. On December 7th of that year, Carti would return to socials with a picture of himself that would soon be followed up by a post on his Finsta, the Opium account, with a graphic that read, "I am music," and a caption that said, "Prepare." The following day, Carti would continue to post on Instagram, putting up two stories, the first just saying, "I am not playing," and the second being a video actually with a snippet of the song we would later know as Evil Jordan. That Evil Jordan snippet too, that was the first time we really saw the year 2024 linked to this entire rollout, because from there, it would be heavily included in the campaign. It was really the motto of this era. It was on graphics, it was in lyrics. 2024 music. Shit would really heat up the night of the 8th though, as hours after posting that snippet, Carti would go on to post a whole ass song on his Finsta. The return track, known as You're the Moon, would be released on the Opium Instagram account alongside with a full music video with Carti in that already iconic green furry jacket. And following this, Carti would make a habit out of posting new tracks on socials with about a week or two in between every release. After You're the Moon came 2024, a track posted on YouTube with these awesome horns on the instrumental, which was produced by Kanye West. Then, just a week after dropping that track on YouTube,
by Ear, my favorite one,
Carti would return to Instagram about a week later, putting out Hood by Air, a track that is in my eyes the best out of this whole entire bunch, which finally saw Carti in a music video hanging out with Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, and Homicide Gang, the artists that are signed to his Opium label. Backrooms featuring Travis Scott would come 2 weeks after Hood by Air. And truly, this pattern of Carti releasing a new song every week or two, it was surreal. After 3 long years of teasing fans about dropping a new album, it had seemed as if Playboi Carti was finally readying the world for some brand new music. But then, the pace of releases started to slow. Evil Jordan would drop in January, before Carti would start hanging out with Kanye West and apparently start focusing on the Vultures rollout rather than his own. Ye is one of Carti's mentors, and they have been very close creatively ever since 2020 when Ye executively produced Whole Lotta Red. In early 2024, Kanye was getting ready to release his collab album with Ty Dolla $ign called Vultures. Ye and Ty did 2 listening parties for the album back in December. However, both events for some reason were called raves and were both kinda clusterfucks. Carti was actually supposed to be at the first one in Miami, but he was far too late and he was the sole reason that the event was both delayed and also ended early. It did not have a negative impact on Ye and Carti's relationship though, as they would go on to link after the event, and that's where you see the shots of them together in the 2024 music video. But with the 2 raves in December for Vultures being kind of clusterfucks, Ye and Ty would take time off in December to work on the album a little bit, polish everything up, and in that time somewhere, they decided that they had enough material not for just one Vultures album, but for 3. Ye would soon take to Instagram to announce that he and Ty would be putting out an entire Vultures trilogy, with each project releasing in just a month span, running from February to April. By February, he and Ty began hosting stadium listening parties for Volume 1, with Carti showing up to a few of them, promoting his features on the tracks Fuck Some and Carnival. According to insiders, this Vultures trilogy plan is the sole reason that Playboi Carti decided not to release his albums in early 2024. We're gonna get into the details of it pretty soon here, but basically, Ye told Carti about the Vultures
Supercharge your business.
Be quiet, man. I don't want to hear no ads, man. I came here to watch this video.
trilogy, the 3 albums, first 3 months of 2024, and Carti figured he'd ride the wave of momentum from his features on those projects, and then, after Volume 3 drops in March, he'll drop his own albums. Now, Vultures 1 dropped pretty much on time, just an hour or 2 after the promised date, February 10th, just a few hours into February 11th. But I'm currently filming this video in May, and Vultures 2 has yet to drop, let alone Volume 3. A private listening party for Vultures 2 was held almost 2 months ago now, but Ye just seems to be not focused on music anymore, at least not focused enough in my eyes to drop 2 full albums anytime soon. Carti does have features that are expected to be on the future Vultures releases. We've heard the tracks Field Trip and Melrose, with Melrose sounding like it is going to be a fucking iconic song. From what I hear too, it seems like JPEG Mafia produced it. But Ye has clearly abandoned this 3 albums in 3 months plan, meaning that if insiders are correct, Carti delayed his albums for nothing. Some people also subscribe to the theory that Carti took some time away because he had some bad press in early February. I don't know if you guys remember, but he would go on an Aiden Ross kick stream and basically scam Aiden out of like $2 million. Aiden has had a lot of artists on in the past. It's like a loose interview format kinda, and he basically pays them millions of dollars for them to act like they're his friend for a couple of hours. I don't know why he expected this to work with Carti though, as Carti would clearly go on and not answer really.
Yeah, like he was on, his mysterious act. He wasn't really gonna say much.
Any of Aiden's questions. He would be super quiet, just vibe to some music for a few minutes, and after like less than 10 minutes of just standing there in the most awkward interaction you've ever seen in your life, Carti would just dip with the money. Entire thing was an awkward clusterfuck, but I really don't think anyone like changed their outlook on Carti from this whole situation, especially considering that Carti has done far worse in his personal life that we're aware of. He's apparently told Aiden that he will come back on stream to make it right and do like a proper, friendly interview, but I don't see that ever happening. Some people really believe that this caused the album delay and Carti just really made himself look like an asshole, but I don't fucking think so. I don't think Aiden Ross is the reason that Playboi Carti isn't dropping his fucking albums, people. After the Vultures 1 release and Aiden Ross stream, Carti would return to socials and drop the track Ketamine on March 12th, a track in collaboration with Olgi Volta, and while fans thought this was a sign of Carti once again starting up a rollout, he would soon go quiet once again. Aside from a feature off the first Future and Metro Boomin album released this year, the track Type Shit, Carti has been completely off socials and away from the limelight since March. He was randomly featured on pop artist Camila Cabello's song I Love It, and like we talked about a few minutes ago, he's supposed to be on some Vultures 2 tracks
song.
if that album ever drops, but right now, shit is completely quiet regarding Carti and his current plans. However, with Carti going back into hiding, we've finally gotten some insight as to what his plans were regarding music back in the wintertime, which are apparently still the plans for the albums today. We've even got some info about Carti apparently wanting to drop back-to-back with Lil Uzi last year for Uzi's album Pink Tape, with obviously those plans falling through. All this insider info surfaced about a week ago now, and again, this comes 3 months after Carti being completely radio silent, with the insiders who provided the information being Pop, Heaven or Hell, and Soul. Before I read any of this info, I want to remind you all that this is not confirmed by Carti or his camp themselves, and while these guys are very reliable and I have a lot of confidence in this information enough to share it here on my platform, I do just want to say, take it with a grain of salt. First off, apparently for over a year now, Carti has been planning on dropping not just one album, but 2. And they both are...
I've seen this, but like if he actually drops 2 albums, that would be good, man. 'Cause he hasn't dropped in 4 years. Like, you gotta give us something.
Supposed to drop consecutively with about a month in between. Like I said, apparently this 2-album plan has been in the works since way further than just last December, and Carti has been very close to dropping these records on numerous occasions, only to change plans last minute and move the record's release forward. Apparently he was going to drop in February and March of last year, 2023. And there's a video that A$AP Bari recently put out through this documentary on YouTube where you can actually hear Carti saying this himself on a phone call.
I'm trying to drop 2 on
back to back.
back to back February, then goddamn.
Obviously, that plan fell through, and Carti would then move on to a new plan of dropping the albums back-to-back in conjunction with Lil Uzi Vert's Pink Tape. Uzi and Carti's careers, they're linked together forever. And you may remember back in March of last year, 2023, when Uzi posted that Instagram story saying he and Carti were going to take over the world together or something like that. Now we know what that was all about. Unfortunately, we know how this story ends, folks. Carti would ghost Uzi around the time that Pink Tape was supposed to drop in July. He would tell Uzi last minute to not drop the track that he was supposed to be featured on, called Pass It, because he didn't like how he sounded on the song, but it was uploaded to YouTube anyway. Complete clusterfuck. But a month after Pink Tape dropped and the whole Pass It situation, a Playboi Carti song would leak called Killers. And this apparently had major implications for Carti's album plans back in August. According to these insiders, Carti was planning on dropping Killers as a lead single, but a week or so before it was set to release, the track would be group bought, and the song being leaked was the sole reason that the album rollouts were delayed
for some reason. Killers, it was going to drop in like 2 to 3 weeks. Killers was a single
till December. That brings us to wintertime then, where Carti finally followed through with the plan that he explained to A$AP Bari in early 2023. He dropped the songs on socials, he brought the hype up, and he was ready for release, but this is where the Vultures trilogy plays a part in the delay. Apparently, Carti delayed dropping not only once, but twice in both January and February, as Ye came to him with the news about the trilogy plan. And as we all know, that is what leads us to the current situation, with it being May, and Carti is still not putting out the albums. Believe it or not, there is a positive to all of this, and that is apparently the back-to-back release plan for these 2 albums. It's still the plan for whenever Carti does officially decide to put these records out. And honestly, look, it's been a long time waiting for some new Carti material. I know he's been featured on shit, but like solely just shit he puts out. 4 years is a long fucking time to make fans wait for an album, but if he is putting out 2 records, like, you factor that into like, okay, each 2 years accounts for 1 album, that's pretty standard for an artist. It's a pretty sweet plan, that is if Carti ever fucking drops. Now we do have some info about each album and how they're allegedly supposed to sound if plans don't change too much. We do know far more information about the first album though, as apparently it's been finished for a...
Do you guys think he's gonna describe everything and switch it all up? Like how he did a whole lot of red, a whole different sound or whatever?
while. So we're going to go ahead and start off with that. According to Soul, The first record is a lot of hood by air type shit. Carti goes both baby voice and deep voice with his vocal stylings. The track list hasn't changed in allegedly a whole ass year, with Carti only making small alterations. I guess it has barely changed since January 2023. On the track list is apparently 2 grails, those being All Red and Pop Out. Songs that we have known for a while that Carti doesn't want on the album, but his label has been pushing for, and that whole debate is allegedly the whole reason that the album was originally delayed in the first place. It has also been mentioned that the YouTube and social releases, such as Hood by Air, 2024, etc., will be dropped as bonus tracks likely on this first album. To me, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with All Red and Pop Out. Because, we heard earlier this year about Carti's label pressuring him, and as much as I love those songs and I really want him on one of these projects, it's like, Carti's the artist. It's his piece, don't tell him how to paint. Then again, if the artist keeps painting masterpieces and then burning them and throwing them away, maybe someone ought to interfere, I don't know. Now, regarding Album 2 and the information we have about that project, this is apparently the record that Carti has been working on for ages. Apparently this project has a very genre-bending pop sound, and the insiders
I
specifically
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the album is called Music. It's all, a whole different versatility of different sounds of music, so.
Pop said that the I Love It Camila Cabello track was kind of a teaser of sorts as to how this album's gonna sound. Pharrell Williams tweeted out back in December teasing about being on Carti's album, and we definitely know now that this is probably the project that he is going to be on. It was like, how the fuck is Pharrell and Carti gonna work on a track together? But Soul said it has, quote, heavy Carto stuff at being Carto production, and those Carto produced tracks, I guess, are very similar to Evil Jordan. Finally, we know that this project is still being worked on currently. So, that is pretty much all the info we have regarding Playboy.
Alright, well, that was the real reason Carti hasn't dropped. This was an actual good video. He gave good analysis on the real reason Carti hasn't dropped. You guys tell me, like I said, you guys tell me what your favorite new Carti single that he dropped. Not on all streaming platforms, but you know what I mean. And I got more videos coming. When is he gonna drop this album music? Like, he need to drop it. Like, I'm waiting, bro. Like, we got King Carson. He got more chaos coming, but this is about Carti. So yeah, I got more videos coming. Tell me what you want to see next in the comments down below. Subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, you're right out.